All right, for example number 2, it's basically the same thing. We're just going to, in fact, all of these are basically going to be the same. We identify A, B, and K. So remember, this is written in the form y equals K plus or minus, depending on whatever A, and it could be plus or minus K too. A, in this particular case, cosine of BX. And so K, in this particular case, is -1. That means we're going to shift down 1 unit. When it says plus cosine, what would A be if you were to guess? 1, right? How many cosines do we have there? 1. Let me change the color on that. All right, so whenever we say minus something or plus something, we're really saying minus or plus 1. And then B, of course, is 2. And this is what they're telling us to graph it as. Sometimes you would see it like negative pi. In interval notation, it would be like this. Okay? Actually, if they're including it, because it has the equal sign, it would look like this with the bracket. You guys remember that from your algebra, pre-algebra days? Okay, and I should have wrote it down that way on the last example too. So anyways, what does that tell us? Well, we're not flipping it and we're not stretching it vertically. Let's figure out what the period is. The period P is equal to 2 pi over B, which is just 2 pi over 2, which is just pi. So I'm going to go over here, and it says we're going to graph from pi to negative pi. Now normally it would go from 1 to -1, but because K is -1, we're going to shift everything down. So my graph has to go down 1. So I'm going to actually, the top part of my cosine is going to fit right here on the x-axis. And then this is going to go down 1. You see why I use the box? And then the middle of the cosine function will go right through here. So I always draw like a dotted line through all 3 of these. It's a lot better on graph paper, but whatever. And then I have to remember off the top of my head what cosine looks like. So remember, cosine, we're not flipping it. So normally cosine, when you graph cosine, it kind of looks like this. You start at the top, come down and up. That's 1. Come down and up. That's 1 period. So what I'm going to do here, and I have to go through the halfway mark. Okay. So I'm going to go down, actually about 1/4 of the way. And it's going to touch right here. And then top of the hill right there. Same thing here. Oh, that was bad. This is where it went wrong. Something like that. Okay? Mr. Adams is a certified math teacher. You would hope that I'm right, but maybe I'm not, so we double check. Okay? So that was -1 plus cosine of 2x. So we're going to say -1 plus cosine of 2x. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change the grid. We're going to go from pi, negative pi, to positive pi. And I'm going to change the y-axis from -2, actually let's make it -3, to 1. I'll zoom out a little bit, and we'll take a little screenshot there. And we'll see if we're close. It's basically spot on, right?